Ring, ring, ring. Let's say you get a phone call from God, from the universe, from whatever higher power that you believe in. And you see the phone ringing. Are you going to answer or are you going to decline? So if you're going to answer, you're going to answer that calling, right? You're not just going to let the phone ring. You're not just going to let it go to voicemail and see what, they just want from you. You're going to answer that calling for yourself. And guess what? That calling is uniquely yours. Everyone gets a different phone call, but that one's uniquely yours. So when you speak to the source, when you speak to God, when you say what's up to the universe, they're going to tell you what that calling is. They're going to tell you what your purpose is. So now imagine that God, the universe, the higher power of this world tells you your calling, and you know it, and you believe in it. And now you have the audacity to listen to what someone else has to say about it. This is probably the one truth that will probably bring you the most peace out of every single video I've done. The truth is, you are not for everyone, and that is a good thing. In fact, it's one of the many superpowers that you have. You were born to do things your way and create a life that is right for you. And in order to do that, you have to understand that you're the leader of your own life. You can't waste time trying to impress people who don't understand your vision, and you can't waste time trying to seek approval from people who don't understand your calling and your purpose. The moment that you embrace that your approval is the only approval that matters is the moment that you actually unlock the freedom to living an unapologetic life. When you stop giving energy to other people's opinions, you create space to focus on what really matters: your dreams, your goals, your happiness. Hey everyone, welcome back to Just Like Magic with Julia. Today we are talking about why you're not for everyone, why that is a good thing, and why that's actually a superpower of yours that you can use to your advantage. But before we get into it, I need to make sure that all of my gems here are subscribed to this channel, okay? Because honestly, I know that if you're watching this video, you're someone who really wants to cultivate a healthy lifestyle, a healthy mindset in order to achieve all of your dreams. And that is exactly what I made this channel for. This is exactly what the community is for. So please hit that subscribe button, and I promise you, you will be attracting your manifestations just like magic. When you're living in your purpose, opinions cannot matter. In fact, they're not even valid. The reason why I even wanted to make this video in the first place is because I really got to thinking about how many times the opinions of others have held me personally back in the ideas I wanted to pursue, the opportunities I've taken, and just like the way that I see life. It made me really realize how often we let the opinions, the judgments, and the words of others really dictate and determine how we move through the world. And truthfully, sometimes I feel like we want to seek the opinions of others, to seek approval, to be validated, to remind ourselves that we're doing a good job, to feel like we're doing something right and impressing others. And sometimes we end up not even actively seeking the approval of others or their opinions, but we end up hearing it and still internalizing it. We absorb these opinions, and sometimes we don't even realize how much power they actually take up in our minds. But those opinions don't actually hold the power. We give them the power. And the crazy thing is, in reality, if you really think about it, most of the time, when a person is giving you an opinion on a dream of yours that you have, a goal, an aspiration, it's likely that they're not living the same dream that you have for yourself. So why keep letting them dictate how we move forward? See, most of the time we fall into this trap of seeking approval from people who don't actually have what we see for ourselves. They don't see our vision because they're too focused on the vision that they have for themselves. And this is not a bad thing. Their vision for themselves has shaped their limiting beliefs, their experiences, their perspective, their outlook on the world, good or bad. And it just goes back to the principle that everyone really just has a unique path. It's so crazy because when you think about the most successful people, like when they do interviews, it's so rare to hear a successful person say that they listen to another successful person above them. Usually, when you listen to successful people, they're always saying that they don't take advice or listen to the opinions of others because they trust themselves and their instincts. They know that their instincts are what have gotten them thus far. And most of the time, they actually recognize that the opinions of others are shaped by limited perspectives. If you want to do something big, if you want to do something new, you can't listen to people who don't think it's possible. There are a million people in life who have done amazing, extraordinary, innovative things. And I promise you, if they would have listened to the people that didn't necessarily believe in them, we wouldn't have had all of this amazing success, innovation in life. Just because certain things are not possible to people who don't have that unique calling doesn't mean that it's not possible for you. I heard this little analogy in a TikTok the other day, and it was so smart. It was like, would you ever let a person who's never touched a guitar teach you how to play one? No. So why would you let someone who doesn't have your desire, your dream, teach you how to get it? Now, sometimes we may get caught up in what a person means to us or what approval from this person means to us. Usually, this can be with parents or like a significant other, or in general, just a person who we love and that means something to us. And we don't really realize sometimes that the people we love are also people living their own life with their own dreams, their own aspirations, whether you know it or not. And if they're not currently working towards a dream or having a dream, that doesn't mean that they didn't at one time. They only know what feels possible to them. This goes back to how God or the Creator has a unique path and a unique plan for everyone. And sometimes the person who you love the most, whose opinion who you may be considering, may be so focused on their own journey, their own perspective, their own experiences, that what they're trying to advise you may be rooted in their own fears and what's worked for them and what they've proven to be possible. And always remember, what one person deems as possible for you does not define your true potential. I'll say it again if you didn't hear me the first time. What one person deems as possible for you does not define your true potential because they don't even know what you're capable of. When you're constantly evolving, raising the bar for yourself, and just growing, you're proving to yourself that you're more capable than you ever imagined. You begin to unlock possibilities for yourself that no one else could see for you because your belief in yourself shapes your reality. Again, this is so applicable to everything. Like maybe it's not your dream, maybe it's the way that you look, maybe it's the way that you speak, maybe it's the way that you appear to others and interact with others. No matter what you do, people are going to have something to say, whether it's positive, whether it's negative. And unfortunately, like we cannot control the way that people think. We cannot control the opinions that they have because opinions are subjective. It's based on their experiences, it's based on their understanding of life, and that's okay. People are always going to have something to say, whether they see your vision or not. This was something that became so apparent to me in 2021 when I started my own business. So when I launched my own business, I literally was doing everything for my business. Like you name it. If when you think about a business, like and you think about the fact that they have to market, they have to ship, they have to design products, they have to have a website, all of that I was doing for my business. And to be honest with you, I was doing it strategically because I knew what direction I wanted to take it in. I knew how I wanted it to grow, how I wanted it to translate to the target audience that I was trying to captivate. But when I tell you, nothing could prepare me for how overwhelmed I felt by how much other people had to say and their opinions and their unsolicited advice about how I could make more money, what I could do differently, what products I could incorporate into my business that I was starting for the first time. And like when you hear this story, I think that someone could potentially be like, oh, but that could be like, really good feedback. That can be really positive criticism. No, that's not what I'm referring to. Let me know in the comments, by the way, if you've ever kind of experienced something similar, even if it's not with like a business, but just in regard to like you doing something and then everyone else telling you about their opinion on how you're doing it. So many people had something to say about what I was doing wrong. And I don't want to take away from all of the amazing people that supported me and complimented me on everything I was doing right. But for the sake of this video, we're focusing on that. There were people who did support me a lot too. But it was clear to me that for the people who were criticizing, that everyone else had their own ideas of what I should be doing, even though I had my own vision. And honestly, if I can go back to 2021, I would probably not even tell half of these people about my business at that time. I would have probably moved in silence, which, by the way, is another part to this video. So if you haven't checked out that part yet, go check it out after this video. I'm going to link it in the description below, because honestly, this video and that video really do pair very well together. Moving in silence and not caring about what everyone else thinks. Best team, best duo. They go together real bad. Again, you can't have one without the other. You have to go check out that video next. Now, the craziest thing was, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was triggered at first. Like, it was really hard for me to kind of cope with it, because when you put so much time and effort into, something like a business where it's your baby, it's kind of just hard to not take things personal. But one day I remember, maybe like I was on YouTube or TikTok or something, and I remember literally just thinking to myself, yo, not one of these people who are telling me what products to make next, what, I should do differently, how to make more money, which, by the way, money wasn't even my goal at that time. It was really building a community. None of them owned a business. Not one of them was a business owner and knew what it actually took to build a business from the ground up. And not one of them even knew the strategy that I had planned or the behind the scenes that was going on. And even though it did become really hard to kind of navigate through the challenge of having to kind of filter out people's opinions, one thing that I learned along the way was people who actually have been through the grinds, have built from the bottom up, have been through the struggle, are actually less likely to give their opinions because they know the hard work that is required. They tend to keep their unsolicited advice to themselves because they understand the struggle. Whereas the people who haven't been through that struggle are more likely to actually give their opinion. They're the ones that are quicker to judge because they don't actually really understand what it takes to have vision to have something succeed. And it took me a while. It took us a while to understand that as much as I wished I can just cancel out, everyone else's opinions and erase it and get rid of all of the harsh criticisms, I can't. But I could learn how to kind of just deal with it as if it was just background noise. I learned to accept other people's opinions as background noise because I learned that their opinions actually say more about their path and their perspective than my vision and what I'm doing for myself. But the real key in all of this is learning how to validate yourself so that no matter what other people think of you, no matter what they have to say, you know that you can move forward confidently because you're trusting yourself and you're not concerned with what they have to say. Your worth and the decisions that you make never have or never will rely on others. Learning how to validate yourself will basically cultivate trust within yourself. And when you have trust within yourself, you're able to rely on like your own intuition, your instincts, and your ability to navigate your own path, especially when other people don't get it. And I know that we hate it when other people don't get it because we want that support, but it's likely to happen along the journey. But when it does happen, you'll be your biggest help. You'll be your biggest resource. Because guess what? What's yours is truly for you. And you need to know that and you need to feel that. Instead of focusing on what everyone else thinks, focus on what you think of yourself. Do you think you're beautiful? Do you think you're doing a good job? Do you think that there is room for self-improvement? Teach your mind slowly but surely to focus on what you think more than what everyone else thinks, because that's truly what matters the most. External validation from others can feel really great, but if that's the only way that you receive validation, you're going to create a dependency on that external validation. And guess what? When you get a high from that external validation, you'll be on cloud nine. But what happens when you don't get it? Are you going to let yourself get low? The only person who can really validate yourself is you, because your sense of self-worth comes from within. Never give someone else the power to tell you about yourself and who you are. That's something that you truly know. Be open to feedback, be open to growth and being self aware. And let me make a disclaimer because I want to be very clear. Learning to validate yourself doesn't mean validating wrong choices or the wrong things that you're doing or the wrong decisions or just thinking that you're right and, above everyone all the time. No. But learning to validate yourself means to not seek the approval of other people. Now, let me be very clear, okay? If you're doing something wrong and you know you're doing something wrong, this is not just a cop out to, not have to seek approval from other people. No, that's not in the context that we're talking about at all. But your self-esteem, right? And your purpose and your path and your choices that are aligned with, what God has called you to do and, the way that you see yourself in the world. Those are the things that you need to be able to validate on your own. So again, be open to feedback and always be self-aware enough to grow, but always hold on to your sense of identity. Know who you are at your core so that no one else's opinion of you can actually define who you are. Now, if you're someone who finds validating yourself hard, because I understand that validating yourself isn't just something that you can turn on and off and just practice and it works. It's something that takes time. So if that's something that's hard for you, I'm going to tell you a little bit about how you can fake it till you make it. Now hold on, because I know that when I used to hear the term or phrase fake it till you make it, I would actually get upset because I'm like, why are people telling me to fake my confidence? Like, I actually want to really feel like empowered and like I can really be confident and validate myself. I don't want to have to fake it. But that's actually not what fake it till you make it means. And I actually just learned this for myself the other day. Fake it till you make it isn't just like blindly pretending to be confident or to validate yourself, but about practicing and embodying confidence even when it doesn't feel natural yet. So, a perfect example of this is affirmations. They don't instantly change how you feel about yourself right when you say them. Or in some cases, affirmations don't even work the first week that you say them, but they take time. And through the time that you say them, you're reframing your mindset to actually believe them and find the validity in them. Faking it also refers to reminding yourself that just because your emotions may not feel in line with confidence, emotions are temporary. People have bad days, and even on your bad days, it's okay to practice showing up as your best self because that's how you train yourself to believe that through the bad times. Now, again, doesn't mean that we can't have bad days, doesn't mean that we can't feel bad or feel negative or cry. You learn through negative emotions, and it's human to feel that way. But when you feel like you need to pick yourself up, it's okay to channel that. It's not about being fake. It's about training yourself to show up for the version of yourself that you're becoming, the version of yourself that your dreams require. Now, let me tell you the best part about actually being able to not worry about what other people think of you. When you stop worrying about the opinions of others, you actually free up all of this mental space in your brain to really just focus on your goals, which is what it's all about. And what happens here is probably the best thing for you. Your mind starts to go into this tunnel vision mode. And you're no longer concerned with what anyone has to say because you know who you are and you trust your vision. You trust the calling that God gave you. And when you trust yourself and focus, you get whatever it is that you desire. Whether it's peace of mind, whether it's just self-validation and really just feeling confident, whether it's a dream, whether it's passing a class, a business, a job, whatever it is for you, it becomes so much easier to actually attain that thing. And it comes faster too. It comes faster because you're not wasting energy thinking about what others think of you. I promise you that when you let go of the opinions of what other people have to say about you, you feel so much lighter and so much freer. You feel truly liberated to chase what's meant for you unapologetically. And that's where the magic happens. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that all of you who watched took something away from this video to really just help you manifest and be more confident in yourself and your dreams. I can't wait to hear about all of the amazing things that you're manifesting. Please let me know where you're at in your journey in the comments, what you want to hear more of. I'm so eager to make more content for you. So let me know what you want to kind of hear more about on this channel. I wish you all nothing but the best, and I will see you soon. Bye.